Hello, welcome to day 14 of our 30 days of yoga challenge. I'm going to encourage you to stay present with your breath during our class today. It's something that we want to do all the time, really, because we're slowing down, we're moving, we're being more mindful of moving slowly and being more mindful of our breath. And we can use this, use the breathing within our practice to create a calm state of mind. So we're going to start with alternate nostril breathing. So this is Nadi Shodhan, alternate nostril breathing, and this is about restoring balance to the left and the right hemispheres of the brain. This will encourages us to breathe the same amount through the left and the right nostrils. And it also, on a very practical level, helps to clear the sinuses and strengthen the respiratory system. So loads of different benefits, but also for slowing us down, connecting with our breath and tuning in. It's a really beautiful pranayama practice. So pranayama is the breathing practices within yoga. So you're going to take your right hand, I'm going to do this back to front. This is going to seem back to front to you. I always feel a bit awkward doing the other way around. So your right hand, unless you're left-handed, you're going to take the first two fingers in towards the palm. So your index finger and your middle finger comes in towards the palm. I'm going to give you options. And you will take the right thumb, so your right thumb, onto the right nostril. If it's not comfortable to hold the hand like this, you take these first two fingers and you rest them to the brow center. So it's two different mudras, Nasikagra mudra and Vishnu mudra, but either one is fine for this breathing practice. So right thumb onto the right nostril, sitting up nice and tall. Just let the other hand rest. You can come to Gyan mudra, index finger, thumb to touch if you wish. And then we're just going to take a nice deep breath in. So we'll do a couple of cycles together. Right thumb, right nostril, breathe in through the left nostril. Top of the breath, cover the left nostril, release the right, and exhale. All the way to the bottom of the breath. Breathe back in again through the right. Cover the right nostril, release the left, and exhale. That's one cycle, going round again, breathing in through the left. Cover the left nostril, release the right, and exhale. Breathe back in through the right. Cover the right, release the left, and exhale. We're going to do a couple more rounds, so go at your own time. Equal in, equal out breath if you can, just to keep that balance. Relax the shoulders. Really follow the breath as you're breathing in, so quality of the breath. Let the round you're on be the last round. Next time you exhale through the left nostril, that will be the end of the current round. When you get there, you're just going to keep the eyes closed, release the hands. Just take a couple of natural breaths, and you might feel more balanced. You should, at a very basic level, feel very clear and open through the sinuses. And then just opening your eyes, come back into the space. So if you need to go and blow your nose, if you had a bit of a cold coming, press pause and then blow your nose and then come back again, because obviously it can do that as well. It's helping to kind of clear sinuses as well. So we're going to come into Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fishes pose. We'll have the legs extended. We're going to take so this is our twist. We're going to take the right leg over, right foot over. bottom leg can stay extended or you can bend it under. So knees permitting, you can bend that leg under. We're going to turn towards the right side. So you're going to have either the hand to the knee, or you're going to hook the elbow. You're going to extend the arm away. So all different options, or you can bind. So if you're a little bit deeper into it and the hand can make it through that gap, then you reach the other hand round to hold. Okay, so it may or may not be available. Find what's comfortable. Shoulders down, hands behind to support and lift up through the chest, and we'll take a couple of breaths here. Okay, so we're working with a twist. Stay with the breath. So try throughout the practice today to really stay present with your breathing. When we breathe more deeply, obviously we're getting more oxygen into the body, but it's also inducing a deeper sense of calm and relaxation, especially with the lengthened out breath. So really kind of focusing on extending those out breaths. So breathe as deeply as you can in the twist. Might feel a little bit restricted. And then we're going to come slowly back to center, so nice and slowly back to center. We're going to come, actually we're going to come to Shasana. So yes, let's extend this bottom leg out. Let's take this leg over. So you're bending up your right leg, extending the left. You can take the flesh from the sit bones. That will just help to connect you to the sit bones a little bit more. And then we're going to breathe the arms up. So breathing in, lift up, 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 and then fold forward. So feel like you're hinging from the hips. So trying not to round, but keep that length through the spine, shoulders away from the ears. You might be a little more upright, so hands just to the floor or to the leg, or you might be a little bit deeper, maybe hands to the foot. You can always use a strap around the foot if you have a strap, just to keep that length in the spine. Gaze might be to the toes, or you might take the gaze down, and you just kind of go to your depth within the pose. Bearing in mind, we're just starting our practice, so your body's still taking its time to open and to warm up. So let's take a couple of breaths here. So Shasana, head to knee pose, but I think head towards the knee, or thinking chin extending towards the shin, so you're lengthening. Okay, so be aware of that beautiful stretch into the hamstrings, so the leg that's extended, beautiful hip opening here. And again, stay with the breath. Soften, relax into the pose if you can. And then you're just releasing the hands and walking yourselves back up to sitting up. Okay, and we're going to do exactly the same to the other side. So let's come back to our Dandasana, so our staff pose. We're going to take the left leg over this time. Bottom leg possibly bends under. So that's kind of knees permitting, and if it feels comfortable. Same idea, one hand behind to keep the spine long. It's just so you're not twisting like this, that you might end up slumping. So you keep nice and long, you lift through the chest, you're turning towards that back shoulder. Same options, hand to the knee, hook the elbow, extend the arm, or the possibility to bind. You can probably just about see this side, but that arm is over the knee, okay? And you want to be able to stay sitting up tall if you can. So find the option that works. Breathe as much as deeply, as fully as you can, and be aware of your sit bones as well. So there's a lot of focus on the upper body in this pose, but it's a nice grounded posture, so that you can feel that connection through your bottom, through your feet to the mat. A couple more deep breaths, just easing out any holding through the upper back. Okay. And then coming slowly back to center. From here we're going to come into Shasana on this side. So you're going to extend the bottom leg, the bent leg, and then you're going to bring the other foot towards, so it'll be your left leg, the heel towards the body. Flesh from the sit bones again if you found that helpful. And then folding forward, so you're going to bring the arms up with the breath, breathing in, create that length, and then folding forwards. Again, hands to rest wherever's comfortable to have them resting. So floor, shins, shin, foot. So whichever is accessible. See if you can see me on the screen. I'll come back a little bit better. Let's see. Okay, and again, Just to your measure, you're not forcing, you're working with the breath. So you're thinking about breathing, lengthening, exhale and softening into the pose. One side might feel more open than the other. It really is about having that awareness of what's going on in your body. So let's just take a few more breaths here. Soften the knees, soften the hips, shoulders away from the ears, so not bunching up. Be aware of the breath, the nice deep breaths. Okay, and then just releasing the hands and come slowly up to sitting up. And we're just going to come onto all fours, a few cat-cows just to get into the spine. Nice simple pose, but really beautiful for releasing any tension through the low back, the upper back. So as you're breathing in, the gaze is forwards. As you're breathing out, you're tucking under, draw the belly button towards the spine, press into the mat, open up between the shoulder blades, really kind of drawing up belly. And then exhale, opposite direction, that beautiful release through the low back. Okay, let's do this a couple more times. Really scooping up here, chin towards the chest. With the in breath, drop the shoulders away from the ears, release that low back. Last time. Drawing up through your center. And then coming back to neutral, and then we're going to pop ourselves up into downward facing dog. So we're going to tuck the toes, we're going to lift up through the bottom and the hips, and then let's just take a moment or two here, be with the breath. So from when we're in downward dog, we're just going to ease or press through those heels. So think about extending the heels towards the floor. That's going to be quite a strong stretch through the back of the legs. I want us to take the left leg out behind. So you can take the left leg out behind, and you're going to bend the heel towards the bottom and open the hip. Okay, so think about pushing the mat away from you and getting extra length up the side of the body. Okay, so you're really opening up the left side of the body. Okay, and then we're going to close that hip. We're going to swing the foot through, so the foot comes through between the hands, and we're going to come into warrior one, Virajasana 1. So that heel's going to swivel down, nice and grounded through the feet, and then we're going to bring the arms up overhead. Option to bring them overhead. You can have them in prayer at the heart center. If you tend towards high blood pressure, it kind of makes the heart work harder when the arms are overhead. So in which case you can just keep them in prayer. But your choice, see how you feel. Gaze might be up, gaze might be forward. We're popping those shoulders down. So bending into that front leg, but the knee is just going to stay over the ankle. So not beyond, not like this. That's too much pressure into the knee. Okay, so you want to feel that the work is in the thigh, not in the knee. Okay, we're going to take the hands down. So we're going to come through a vinyasa. So the hands are coming down either side of the front foot. We're stepping back to a plank or modified with the knees down option. Hug those elbows in, lower down, come through into your cobra, sphinx upward facing dog, your choice. Tuck the toes, pressing back, downward facing dog. Okay, and then we're going to do exactly the same to this side. So we're just going to set up our downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, shoulders away from the ears, nice wide spread of the fingers, press into the base of the fingers more than the heel of the hands, okay? Lift up through the bottom of the hips, get that length through the spine, and then we're going to take the right leg out behind. You're going to bend at the knee, heel towards the bottom, open that hip, so you're opening the hip slightly and getting that extra stretch up the side of the body, okay? Push the mat away from you, so really working with that length. Maybe you can lower the heel towards the mat, and then we're going to close that hip, swing the foot through, so setting up for warrior one on this side, plant that back heel, and then breathing the arms up, so either prayer at the heart center or up overhead, okay, always your choice. Breathing, so we're moving energy around the body. The postures are always working to move
energy around the body, directing it in different ways, releasing any kind of holding, any tight spots. And that in itself just helps us to feel more relaxed, to feel like we flow a little bit more, like we're more balanced. Okay, keep the awareness on the breath too. And then we're going to come through our vinyasa, so hands either side of the front foot, step back to plank or modify, lower down, come through into your cobra, up dog, sphinx, press back, and we're going to come to child's pose. So let's take a few breaths in child's pose. Arms might stay extended. You can come onto the fingertips if you wish, so kind of like spider fingers. That will get a little bit more into your shoulders. Or you can take the arms by the sides of the legs and just kind of allow the shoulders to relax. And then we're just going to slowly come up to sitting up. And we'll come to face forwards. We're going to have a look at Gomukhasana, so cow face pose. Similar kind of legs to the beginning. Let's take the right foot over, bottom leg under possibly. The only difference is that you're coming onto the tops of the toes. Option, okay, you can stay in the sole of the foot if you prefer. Knees are stacked-ish, one over the other. So cow face pose, Gomukhasana, cow's lips, cow's ear. Okay, so you're going to reach one hand up, reach between the shoulder blades. The other hand is possibly going to clasp, or you're just going to aim towards. And we're just going to find what's comfortable. Soften the chest. Try not to flare the ribs. Just kind of keep a softness here. Close the eyes and just breathe into it. I've got the right arm. Yes. Okay. And you can fold forwards if you want. If you want to get into the hips a little bit more, you can just kind of fold the upper body forwards. Be with the breath. And then come slowly up to sitting up. Release, a little bit of a roll. So you can definitely feel that working into the shoulders, releasing any holding there. Extending the legs out, exactly the same to the other side. So let's take, which one did we not do? This one. So your right leg is coming over. Is that the right way? No, it's the other way. Just testing. Other leg, yes, okay, whichever leg you didn't do, we need to make sure we do both sides for balance. And then, yes, this arm this time, so the right arm reaching up between the shoulder blades. You feel that lovely stretch here. Reaching around to possibly join the hands or just aim towards. Soften the shoulders, soften the chest, the ribs, again, not flaring out or arching, just a kind of softness here. Breathe. Really sitting into this, so you'll really be aware of the sit bones, that beautiful stretch across the hips, a lot going on in Gomukhasana. You can fold forwards, go a little deeper into it. Keep that top elbow lifted though, so not collapsing. And then slowly up to sitting up, okay, and then releasing. And again, maybe just a couple of shoulder rolls or shrugs. Okay, and then let's just release the legs, come to your comfortable seat. Remember, if you've time, you can always switch to that the short Shavasana video that I filmed, or just come to laying, put on some nice soothing music, come to laying. It all depends on what time you have available. So we're just gonna close our practice. Let's just take our hands into Jnana Mudra, so your thumb and your first finger, index finger to touch, back of the hands onto the knees, let the shoulders relax. So we've come to the end of our second week of practicing together. I really hope that you are feeling the benefits. I imagine if you're still showing up, maybe you're showing up for yourself. This is not for me, this is for you.
Although obviously I appreciate you joining me, supporting me. But this is your yoga practice, your time, your self-care. Remember, you can always use your breath to slow down, to calm down, to just take a few minutes for yourself, just to be present and to be mindful. Okay, we release the mudra, bring the hands to the heart center or over the heart center. Be aware of the rise and fall of your heart and chest. Okay, and bring the hands together in prayer and just bring the thumbs to the brow center. And then down to the lips and down to the heart. Namaste. Thank you for joining me.